On the broadcast tonight, the deadline. Two of the biggest names in the car business tell the federal government tonight what they need to survive. Signed, sealed, and now the president has to make sure that massive money package with his signature on it delivers for the American people. Tonight, what we found in the fine print. The explanation, A-Rod, the highest paid player in baseball, explains why he turned to steroids. Shot in the dark, the potential for danger for those parents who refuse vaccines for their kids. Also tonight, the new president's first decision on where to send U.S. troops. Nightly News begins now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening, and there's a whole lot to report tonight. The president has signed that huge stimulus spending bill into law. He's made his first big troop deployment overseas. The stock market finished way down today, and California's big troubles persist. And our lead story tonight has to do with a critical part of the U.S. economy, American cars. The Detroit Big Three are in big trouble. Two of them have taken government money, Chrysler and GM, but not Ford. And now tonight, those two, GM and Chrysler, have come back with a plan to save themselves, and they say they need more taxpayer money to make it. It's where we begin on this busy Tuesday night. Phil LeBeau, of course, covers the car business for CNBC. He's with us tonight from Detroit. Phil, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. General Motors and Chrysler have just turned in their viability reports to the Treasury Department, and they both say the same thing. They can fix what's broken, but it will take a lot more money. Claiming they are leaner and moving to become healthier, Chrysler and General Motors are telling the government they need billions more to turn around their businesses. GM, which has already borrowed $13.5 billion, says it could need an additional $16.5 billion. Meanwhile, Chrysler, with $7 billion in loans, is asking for an additional $2 billion.
It should not be a surprise to the American consumer if these companies need more money today and in the future as well.
Both Chrysler and GM plan to become smaller automakers with fewer workers and altered lineups.
We really believe we have to have a shared sacrifice here. It's very, very important.
Chrysler, cutting another 3,000 jobs, wants to partner with Italian automaker Fiat, while GM is now planning to close an additional 5 plants by the end of 2012 as it cuts 20,000 U.S. jobs. And if it can't sell the Saturn brand, it will be phased out after 2011. Both plans will be reviewed by President Obama's auto team, with restructuring expert Ron Bloom playing a critical role. Bloom worked through numerous bankruptcies in the steel industry and will be part of a panel looking into the best way to fix America's broken auto industry, including the possibility of bankruptcy.
Today's plan is significantly more aggressive because it has to be. We have a lot of work in front of us, but we're confident that our plan will result in a sustainable and profitable General Motors.
Tonight, GM, Chrysler, and Ford all got a big boost to their bottom lines. The United Auto Workers have agreed to rework their labor contracts with the Big Three. Brian, that will help all of the domestic automakers become more competitive and close that pay gap with foreign automakers here in the U.S.
All
Brian?
right, Phil LeBeau outside GM headquarters on a cold night in Detroit in more ways than one. Phil, thanks. And now we turn to this stimulus plan designed to help revive the economy. $787 billion, biggest package of government spending ever. It is now part of President Obama's legacy, a big part of his still new presidency. He signed it into law today in Denver. Our chief White House correspondent Chuck Todd traveling with the president tonight. Chuck, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. Well, normally a president signs bills into law at the White House surrounded by members of Congress. Not this time and not this president. He went outside the Washington bubble to sign the biggest spending bill in American history.
Less than a month in office, and the president made dramatic history with a simple stroke of the pen.
There you go. Let's go.
Signing into law America's largest economic recovery package ever. Mr. Obama hopes it's a turning point in what has been a run of terrible economic news.
I don't want to pretend that today marks the end of our economic problems, nor does it constitute all of what we're going to have to do to turn our economy around. but today does mark the beginning of the end.
The president's Colorado setting was decidedly non-Washington. He used it to highlight the new investment element of the stimulus, featuring alternative energy ideas like solar. So what will this plan do? It includes $287 billion in tax cuts, $120 billion for infrastructure, $140 billion in aid to help state governments with mounting debt. And what does this bill mean to you? If you make less than $75,000 a year, sometime in March, you'll see a small increase in your take-home pay. If you are a retiree or on government disability, you'll get a one-time check for $250 sometime in the next 4 months. And this bill comes with a new twist for government watchdoggers, a White House-run website to track how the $787 billion is being spent. Underscoring how massive the bill is, the website lacks specific details. Even under a Learn More tab, the same numbers are simply presented in a different, sleek graphic form. And the bill still has its detractors.
And the president, in my view, in a totally partisan fashion, came up with a solution that won't work.
Tonight, the White House roadshow heads to McCain's home state of Arizona, where tomorrow the president will unveil what aides say is a comprehensive housing plan that they hope will stem the country's foreclosure crisis.
Now, Brian, this week is about spending government money and going into bigger debt for the country. Next week, they're going to try to shine a light on fiscal responsibility, including holding something called a Fiscal Responsibility Summit. Because guess what happens next week, Brian? We get the first federal budget from the Obama administration. It comes next Thursday.
All right, Chuck Todd in Denver tonight with the president. Chuck, thanks. As we said, on Wall Street today, the second lowest closing number since 2002. The mood was fearful. Stocks fell sharply right from the opening bell. Dow finished down in the end just under 298 points. The other broader indexes were also down more than 4% each. Now we go west to California, which is teetering on the brink of insolvency. A huge budget deficit, now running out of cash as a state. The state has started laying off workers and stopping work on various projects. Most states are having budget trouble these days, but like everything else in California, the problems are just simply bigger. Our report from NBC's George Lewis.
In California, they're calling it a fiscal disaster. The legislature unable to resolve the state's budget problems.
Don't try and pin this on the Republicans because we don't want to raise taxes.
And today, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger honoring Captain Chesley Sullenberger, the heroic U.S. Airways pilot who landed safely on the Hudson, made reference to his budget battle with the lawmakers.
You need us right here in the state capitol that should inspire all of the legislators.
Because of the crisis, Schwarzenegger also sent out layoff notices to 20,000 state workers.
And thousands of infrastructure projects, like adding more carpool lanes to this freeway, are being put on hold.
Also halted construction work on this facility for California veterans. California is not alone in having fiscal problems. 46 states face budget shortfalls. Those with the biggest projected deficits for this year and next include California, $39.6 billion, New York, $15.4 billion, Florida, $8.1 billion, New Jersey, $6.1 billion, and Connecticut, $5.7 billion.
This is a budget problem that's going to last for some time in the states because of the depth and severity of this recession.
The experts say the economic stimulus signed today by President Obama will ease the state's problems somewhat, but won't erase the budget deficits. So, in Sacramento, legislators are faced with tough choices, cutting programs, hiking taxes, as their leaders order them to stay in session day and night until the impasse is broken. George Lewis, NBC News, Los Angeles.
We mentioned this at the top of the broadcast as well. President Obama has ordered the first major military deployment of his presidency. We learned late today he's sending an additional 17,000 American troops to Afghanistan. Our own Jim Miklashevsky on duty at the Pentagon tonight with details. Jim, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. Military officials say with an startling rise in violence in Afghanistan, these additional forces are urgently needed now. The president today authorized 17,000 more forces, and orders were signed out today for the first 12,000, 8,000 Marines, and 4,000 Army combat troops. The Pentagon is calling this a remissioning, because many of these forces were set to go to Iraq but will now be diverted to Afghanistan. And politically speaking, that could help President Obama meet two of his campaign promises, to reduce the number of forces in Iraq while increase that number in Afghanistan. And tonight, Pentagon officials say the White House actually wanted to delay these orders until it finished a 60-day review of the overall Afghanistan strategy. But Brian, many military officials feared that by then it may have been too late.
Jim Miklaszewski at the Pentagon tonight. Jim, thanks. This next story doesn't have anything to do with economic stimulus or soldiering, but it's an unfolding story that so many young families and athletes are watching. Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, highest paid player in baseball, facing the media for the first time since admitting he used performance-enhancing drugs. He was 25 when he signed a contract to play baseball for over $250 million. Today, his youth was part of his excuse. Our report tonight from NBC's Kerry Sanders.
It was unfamiliar territory for Alex Rodriguez.
I'm a little nervous, or a lot nervous.
The often cocky, highest-paid player in baseball was humble today.
When you're young and stupid, you're young and stupid. And I'm very guilty for both those.
A-Rod says he is ashamed of his decision to inject his body with steroids for 3 years, beginning in 2001.
And to my teammates, this is about me. I'm the one that screwed up and no one else.
Where did he get the steroids? Rodriguez says he and his cousin bought them in the Dominican Republic. Street name, Foley.
My cousin would administer it to me, but neither of us knew how to use it properly, providing just how ignorant we both were.
He took the drug while playing for the Texas Rangers when he hit his 200th career home run, among the youngest players in baseball to achieve that milestone. In New York today, avid fans watched with keen interest.
Still a big fan of A-Rod, even though he took steroids.
Good. And in Alex Rodriguez's hometown, Little Leaguers are confused.
It's not really cheating, but it's not good for him.
All of this comes on a day when there are reports prosecutors are asking former Yankees teammate Roger Clemens about his denials that he used drugs when he testified before Congress.
It's a sign of the times. It's a sign of the steroids era in baseball. We're probably going to have a few more, and baseball just has to get through it.
Another sign of the times? Forgiving fans looking past Alex Rodriguez's foul, already eager for opening day. Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Tampa.
When we continue this Tuesday night with all the worry about vaccines and autism, what about the danger of not having children vaccinated? And later, what if your computer could report on how things are working in your house? Tonight, what's being called an example of what works.
I, Sam Bailey.
Clara.
Dennis, do hereby pledge to chase the wind, whichever way it blows.
And forgive pollen when it gets carried away.
I promise to grant dust a reprieve.
And I will find the strength in Zyrtec to relieve my worst allergy symptoms, indoors and outdoors.
I solemnly swear to catch the breeze, no matter which trees are blooming, because with Zyrtec,
I can love the air.
Try Zyrtec 5 or 14 count. If you don't love it, we'll refund your money.
Oh, no! I just parked here a second ago! Give me a break, will you? No.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles with 2 different gels for softness and support are outrageously comfortable.
On second thought, I think I'll walk.
Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
Pepto-Bismol, nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
I want to know if we're covered. My friend is having a cherry overload.
What's been ingested?
Cherry pie, cherry dog.
Sounds like he needs more cherry.
What?
Cherry Pepto. It's our fantastic tasting coverage. Cherry Pepto-Bismol. Yep, you're covered.
Batter's up, and so is Jones, checking the sign to the men's room.
Oh, not the first time. He's going over and over.
Now Johnson's rounding the corner, heading for the men's room.
Going urgently.
You bet. Carter steps out. He was in there a long time.
Stopping and starting. These guys should see their doctor.
Good point. Could be male urinary symptoms due to BPH and enlarged prostate.
For many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week.
1 week?
Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer.
Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax.
Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen.
Ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you.
Call 877-4FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off Flomax prescription.
For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Perhaps you have seen the reports of the measles and whooping cough and meningitis outbreaks, so far limited in different parts of the country. Health officials say that is due in part to some parents choosing not to have their children vaccinated. And experts warn that decision, often emotionally driven, puts children at risk. I'll report on this tonight from our chief science correspondent, Robert Bazell.
Take a shot. 2 years ago, Matt Lasik, now 5, contracted meningitis, a severe brain infection.
And the doctor looked at me and he said, "Your son is going to die. He doesn't have much time."
Matt's mom, Kelly, soon learned her son had a bacterial infection called Hib, an illness usually prevented by routine immunization.
But he put his head down.
But because she had heard that vaccinations might cause the developmental disorder autism, she decided not to get Matt vaccinated.
You don't have to fight the octopus yourself. Honestly, I never really understood how serious and the risk that we put our son at.
After extensive treatment, Matt recovered. In the state of Minnesota, there have been 5 childhood Hib cases in the past 3 years, including 1 death.
3 of the 5 children who had this terrible invasive infection had not received vaccine because of parental refusal. And that is really very troubling.
Part of the problem, officials say, was a temporary shortage of vaccine. But they say the larger worry is that when some parents stop vaccinating their children, many germs circulate more easily through the entire community. Even though some parents of children with autism feel very strongly that vaccines played a role in their children's condition, a special federal court ruled recently there is no evidence to back that claim. And many public health officials hope the decision will start to change parents' minds.
The court's decision is an affirmation of science and good medical practice and great public health. And I think it is clearly a step in the right direction.
A list of organisms.
A step every major health organization says we need to protect children from diseases that have been all but eradicated in this country, but still pose a threat. Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
When we continue in just a moment, that bill the president signed today, it's over 1,000 pages. What's buried in there?
Lindsey Vonn takes the lead. Earlier, she was suffering from an all-over achy cold. She stays tough.
How does she do it? What is that?
I think we've discovered her advantage. Speedy Alka-Seltzer.
New and improved Alka-Seltzer Plus. Specially formulated now with more pain-relieving power. Rushes cold-fighting ingredients to relieve congestion, coughing, and all-over achiness. It's the official cold medicine of the U.S. ski team. Alka-Seltzer Plus. Also available in liquid gels.
For the price of a night in, how about a night out? Applebee's 2 for $20 menu. 1 great appetizer to share, 2 amazing entrees, and lots of choice. Applebee's 2 for $20, the best deal in the neighborhood.
Hey, are you treating your rheumatoid arthritis but still having trouble with everyday things? Could Orencia help you? Talk to your doctor. I did. Listen for details about the Orencia Promise Program and this free copay card.
Can you open this? Fasten this? Oh, yes, I can. Orencia. It's an RA treatment that's proven to make a difference for many patients, including those who weren't helped enough by other treatments, relieving the symptoms of RA and controlling the advance of joint damage.
Do not take Orencia with another biologic medicine for RA due to an increased risk of serious infection. Orencia can cause serious side effects, including serious infections. Certain cancers have been reported. Tell your doctor if you are prone to or have any infection like an open sore or the flu. If you have a history of COPD, a chronic lung disease, Orencia Orencia may worsen your COPD.
Thousands of RA patients have experienced Orencia. What about you? Go to Orencia.com or call 1-800-ORENCIA for more about Orencia and the Promise Program for new Orencia patients covered by private insurance. We'll pay your Orencia copay for 6 months. If you're not satisfied after 6 months, we'll pay your first copay of another RA medicine. Go online for the Orencia Promise Program. Talk to your rheumatologist. See if you can say, oh, yes, I can.
93% of those who tried Activia would recommend it.
Jillian, you had occasional irregularity. I know that you were just living with it.
That was my normal. I thought that was normal.
What changed?
I saw Activia in my mom's fridge, tried it for a couple weeks, and it's liberating.
Activia is clinically proven to help regulate your digestive system in 2 weeks when eaten every day.
Activia!
And now, try a delicious blend of cereal, fiber, and Activia yogurt. New Activia Fiber.
Nightly News at nightly.msnbc.com.
We are back with In Depth tonight and about that giant stimulus bill the president signed today, $787 billion in spending. Hopes are high it will help. It's designed to put Americans to work. But at over 1,000 pages, people are still reading through it, discovering what's in it. And a lot of critics, of course, are looking closely. Our report from our senior investigative correspondent, Lisa Myers.
Added behind these doors in the final draft of the stimulus package, $8 billion for high-speed rail projects. Critics say some of that is likely to go for a pet project of Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, a magnetic levitation rail line from Las Vegas to Disneyland near Los Angeles. Critics say such projects may be good for Vegas and other locales, but they're not critical national priorities.
There's lots of things around this country. People talk about crumbling infrastructure. That's where we should be putting our resources rather than into some sort of gleam in Senator Reid's eye.
Another provision designates $1 billion for clean coal technology, which Senate Democrat Dick Durbin says he hopes will revive the Future Gen coal project in Illinois, killed by the Bush administration after costs doubled. The Washington Post called the project prohibitively expensive, one of many items attacked by Republicans.
The cost is too great.
It's a wrong approach.
You have to be kidding.
Misdirected spending spree.
Critics complain that Democratic Party priorities get big money, education, health care, communities, the arts, without enough specifics.
And what we end up doing is handing over big pots of cash to federal agencies and to states and letting them spend it how they want.
Democrats say that misses the point of what this package is supposed to do.
Then you get the argument, well, this is not a stimulus bill, this is a spending bill. What do you think a stimulus is?
Conservative economists say that though some of the spending is worthwhile, the package is not properly designed to stimulate the economy.
It's going to waste a lot of money, particularly on the expenditure side. On the tax side, it doesn't provide incentives. It's basically throwing money at people. It's not the useful way to expand the economy on either side.
Then there is the price tag. If the package creates or saves 3.5 million jobs as predicted, it will cost $250,000 per job. The Obama administration says the cost of doing nothing would be much greater in human and economic terms. Lisa Myers, NBC News, Washington.
Depending on where you're watching us tonight, we sure hope you can see us at this time tomorrow night. You know, all those announcements about local TV stations switching their broadcasting signals to digital, whatever that means. Well, for some of them, mostly in smaller cities, that's tonight at midnight. Others will switch in June. It's, again, only supposed to affect those watching us using an antenna. We'll be right back with what we're all supposed to know about smart grid technology.
I'm gonna do another one of my sleep studies. Advil PM or Tylenol PM. Here we go. Middle of the night. Awake again? Asleep. With Advil PM, she's spending less time lying awake with aches and pains and more time asleep. You should switch to Advil PM. Maybe you should switch too. Advil PM. The difference is a better night's sleep.
Unlock a supreme seafood experience with yellowfin and albacore tuna, crab, salmon, and ocean fish flavors. Frisky's Seafood Sensations. Feed the senses.
When you have your period, you guard your own movements. It's so difficult to sleep. Stay Free knows. That's why there's Stay Free Overnight, the only one with Night Guard Zone and 18 anti-leak channels designed to help block leaks from side to side and front to back, too. That's why, however you move, you get the maximum leak protection from Stay Free. Now you can easily wake up to a beautiful morning with Stay Free.
Impressive resume. I see you're flatulent in 3 languages, graduated top of your gas.
Got gas on your mind?
Your son Rip is on line toot.
Try Gas X. Powerful relief from pressure and bloating in a fast-dissolving strip. Gas X. Pressure's off.
I never thought it could happen to me. Heart attack at 53. I had felt fine. But turns out my cholesterol and other risk factors increased my chance of a heart attack. I should have done something. Now I trust my heart to Lipitor.
When diet and exercise are not enough, adding Lipitor may help. Unlike some other cholesterol-lowering medications, Lipitor is FDA approved to reduce the risk of heart attack, stroke, and certain kinds of heart surgeries in patients with several common risk factors or heart disease. Lipitor has been extensively studied with over 16 years of research. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. This may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
I was caught off guard, but maybe you could learn from my story.
Have a heart-to-heart with your doctor about your risk and about Lipitor.
This is a KGW News Channel 8 update.
Next after nightly news, stimulus money by the billions comes home to Oregon. The road projects you'll see, plus a sign of the times, shoplifting up at grocery stores, how they're fighting back.
I'm Matt Safino. The showers are ending. Find out how long the dry weather lasts at 6.
What works? Brought to you by Lipitor.
Finally here tonight, our series of reports on what works. Some say this next idea fits that definition. The president talked about this very thing today. It's called smart grid technology. We get our report from Boulder, Colorado, and our chief environmental affairs correspondent, Ann Thompson.
Room. Originally,
Val Peterson says she's a human lab rat.
I joke that my husband and I, Chancellor GP Bud Peterson, University of Colorado at Boulder, that we have donated our bodies to science.
They're Mays, the chancellor's residence, testing solar panels, storage batteries, and programmable thermostats. Can you turn down the temperature of your house from anywhere in the world?
Anywhere in the world, if you give me a computer and I can get on the internet.
Val is in a smart home, part of Xcel Energy's $100 million experiment called Smart Grid City. The goal, to improve how energy is delivered in Boulder and how consumers use it. 15,000 customers are connected to it. Today, the Chancellor's house uses 30% less energy.
In the last 30 days, we have avoided 513.1 pounds of CO2, of carbon emissions.
A smart home has a smart meter, monitoring energy usage, constantly sending information to network boxes on utility poles in Boulder and then to Xcel's office in Denver. How big a change is this for you?
This is a significant change. We're going from being very reactive as a utility to being proactive.
This is not just about using power more efficiently today, but also in the future. One study predicts America's demand for energy will increase 40% in the next 25 years. A future that might see the price consumers pay for energy depend on when they use it.
It really only makes sense to work with customers to educate them to say, if it's a really hot day, it's going to cost a lot more energy or a lot more money to get the energy to you.
The experiment changed Dennis and Julie Orfman.
In negotiations with my wife, we don't use the dryer at all.
Their energy usage cut in half. A joint venture between consumers and a utility to power the future in a smarter way. Ann Thompson, NBC News, Boulder.
OPB is ready, and we know most of you are too. In order to allow everyone to be ready when the time comes, OPB will honor the government's request to delay the final switch to June 12th. But don't wait. Now is the time to act. Start enjoying digital OPB today. If you need help, call the OPB Digital Help Center, 1-800-241-8123.
The wild pigs invading parts of Oregon not only look dangerous, they are. These vicious predators are also responsible for destroying valuable land. We'll show you what's being done to try and stop this non-native and why some folks want them around. You'll also see some fascinating behavior from wild fish struggling to survive. And find out more about one of Oregon's more unusual cash crops, swampland.
Oregon Field Guide, Thursday night at 8:30.
I support OPB at the cornerstone level. There isn't anything really more important to me than knowledge. I virtually live and breathe OPB.
It keeps me tuned in to what's going on in the world.
My morning starts with it, my night ends with it. OPB is my lifeline to the state, to the arts, to politics, to what's happening internationally. I love the Oregon Public Broadcasting Cornerstone Society. It is a very meaningful place to share my enthusiasm and my passion for OPB.
To find out more about the OPB Cornerstone Society, please visit opb.org/cornerstone or call Julie Arnzen at 503-977-7765.
Pacific Oncology, offering advanced diagnostic imaging services and state-of-the-art medical oncology and radiation therapy in an integrated cancer care center.